Been There, Watch That. I'm Justin. I'm here with Joe and Dave, and we're here to review one from the famous fan pick list. We spun the magical Wheel of Death last week, and it landed on.
Wait. Why the Wheel of Death? Wow.
Watch the episode and find out.
There you go.
There's some doozies on this list that we've had to just
Suffer through?
straight up say, no, we're not doing that one. But
Wheel of Death.
this one, Dave had a little input on this because it's something he'd seen before, I believe.
Yeah.
This is from 1986. Kurt Russell stars in Big Trouble in Little China.
Wheel of Death. Big Trouble in Little China. And I was excited. I've seen this before, and I remember Kurt Russell in it, and I remember some of the parts of it, but I didn't remember all of it. So good little comeback. So
Yeah, just seeing the movie poster got me intrigued at the very least.
Yes.
And I saw a little bit of the trailer on silent when we were looking at it last week, and wow. Even the trailer looked odd and interesting, but it wasn't even the half of it. There's a lot more craziness in this movie.
See, I didn't even look at the trailer. I just kind of went in full bore and was like, okay, and then...
Insanity. That's the best way I could describe this.
Yes.
It is wild.
So for anybody that's wondering what we're talking about, let me give you the rundown and casting call.
oh boy.
So Kurt Russell plays a hard-boiled truck driver, Jack Burton, who gets caught in a bizarre conflict within and underneath San Francisco's Chinatown. An ancient Chinese prince and Chinatown crime lord has kidnapped a beautiful green-eyed woman who is the fiancée of Jack's best friend. Jack must help his friend rescue the girl before the evil Dr. Lopan uses her to break the ancient curse that keeps him a fleshless and immortal spirit.
Yeah.
So for the casting call, it stars Kurt Russell as Jack Burton, and Mr. Russell is known for Escape from L.A. and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Kate Cottrell plays Gracie Law, and she's known for Sex and the City. James Hong plays David Lopan, and he's known for Kung Fu Panda. And as soon as I heard him talk, I was like, I know that voice from somewhere, and this is where I know it from. The Big Bang Theory.
Really?
The Chinese restaurant guy.
Oh, yeah.
Dennis Dunn plays Wang Chi, and he's known for The Last Emperor. Victor Wong plays Egg Shen, and he's known for Tremors and The Last Emperor. Chow Li Chi plays Uncle Chu, and he's known for Blood Work and Wedding Crashers. Rummel Moore plays Joe Lucky, and he's known for MASH, Magnum P.I., and Knight Rider. And June Kyoto Liu plays White Tiger, and she's known for Blood Work and Menace to Society.
Victor Wong, who played Egg Shin.
Yes.
He's in a lot of stuff. I feel like I've seen him in a lot of things.
Victor Wong. Let me look him up real quick.
Yeah, I just mean, he's one of those faces, super recognizable because one eye doesn't open all the way,
Mm-hmm.
and he just, he's always that ancient. Like I know he was in an Eddie Murphy movie, Golden Child. As kind of like a, advisor type deal, spiritual advisor type thing. But he's in a lot of stuff, like Three Ninjas, Kickback, Three
Okay.
Ninjas Knuckle Up, Three Ninjas,
I can see. Yeah, it looks like he was in Three Ninjas.
7 Years in Tibet, Year of the Dragon, Last Emperor, The Golden Child. This guy's in a lot of stuff.
I can say it looks like he's been in almost all the Three Ninja
Paper
movies.
Dragons, Tremors.
Yeah, the main romantic interest, now that you say Sex in the City, I'm like, oh, okay, of course.
That's where you see.
I could not place her, but I was like, looks pretty familiar. There's something about the green eyes. That's
Bloodsport.
a rare thing in China, I guess.
I think it's a rare thing anywhere.
Yeah, but especially so.
Yeah.
That's somehow tied to this breaking of some curse from thousands of years ago. For this,
Yeah, that was like one of the requirements to fix his issue.
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean-
to make him mortal.
Yes.
this is jam packed with explosions and gunshots, Joe.
And that still didn't save it.
Joe, how could you?
Well, I had high hopes coming into this movie, and
Really?
yeah,
Come on now.
and literally,
Anything called Big Trouble in Little China and has Kurt Russell holding a Uzi on the front cannot be that good.
well,
You didn't watch it though. Never mind. Sorry.
Yeah,
You
I'd
didn't
never
watch
seen
the
it
trailer.
before.
Yeah, you didn't, or you didn't watch the trailer.
right. I didn't watch the
Never
trailer either.
mind.
Yeah.
Surprise.
Yes, yes. Yeah, at
Yeah.
least Justin had the
You're welcome.
forethought to look at the trailer to know what to expect, and I was like, just dive in head first, and man, did I crack my head at the
Well,
bottom of the pool.
That's right. The part where I stopped the trailer, just because we were moving on, I was let me take a quick look, and right where it stopped was where his wheelchair was hanging over the edge, and I'm like, what is going on? This is gonna be crazy. And it was.
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up. Okay, so I know this is setting the bar pretty high on as far as dumb things, but so the scene is Kurt Russell winds up in his wheelchair, goes down this track backwards.
Down a ramp, yeah.
Yeah.
Like a steep ramp.
Yeah,
'Cause
and
he's captured, and they tie him to a wheelchair, and they wheel him around, I guess, with a blindfold on. And there's that whole thing.
yeah, and then that's not even the crazy part. So he goes down this ramp, almost falls into the well, leans forward, starts wheeling himself out, gets all the way out, and then decides to jump out of the wheelchair like he's getting ready to fall in.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, you're already a foot away from the hole. You're out of danger. If you want to impress me, try to jump out before you wheel yourself out. This movie right here is making Howard the Duck look like Gone with the Wind.
Mm-hmm. No, I don't know about that. Gone with the Wind for Howard the Duck might be a bit high.
Compared to this?
This wasn't terrible.
Well, it's...
Howard the Duck was pretty bad.
Is this a parody? Is this intentional comedy, or is it?
I was
Well-
waiting on Leslie Nielsen to show up. I was
Yeah,
like...
yeah. Now, I mean, there's some of that there. This was originally meant to be a Western. About a Western gunslinger that could shoot the eyes out of anything, could shoot really accurately except for people.
Well,
Couldn't kill people. And I don't know if you noticed that, but Jack didn't actually shoot or kill anybody.
Well, no, what I had issues with is one scene...
Unless maybe he stabbed that blob in the face. Was that him?
No.
No, he didn't
was
stab...
Wang.
He didn't stab the
Okay,
big
yeah,
booger.
so Wang did all the
Yeah, they
actual
really-
fighting.
They defied expectations. I mean, the two are presented in the beginning, and Kurt Russell's character is like, wow, this guy is a
Hard-nosed.
Yeah.
capable guy, and the other guy's just kind of a weaselly little guy, and then they totally flip the roles.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
the whole bottle, going to cut a
Yeah.
bottle in half scene, and Jack catches it beside his head, and he's like, it's all in the reflexes.
Yeah.
Made him seem really cool. Plus, he won all the money in the poker, and
Yeah, see that's what sucked me in. It's like, okay, because you see that little clip at the beginning, like they're looking for this guy, and it's like, okay, I'm into it. And then they showed Jack with the poker. It's like, okay, so he's gonna make a bad decision and get mixed up in like the Chinese mafia or whatever, and they're gonna come after him. And then they go to the airport, and then the girls get kidnapped. I'm like, okay, this is a good movie. And then as soon as they start meeting up with they go down that wrong street, and those two gangs fight each other, and then literally the guys from Mortal Kombat show up.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, now I'm done. This is dumb.
yeah.
With the hats that were like huge, like
Yeah.
the biggest hat you've ever seen.
Yeah, like literally go down to your chin, and you have to literally tilt your head up to be able to see underneath them.
You
But
know, so what's crazy was this came out at a similar time with a similar theme to Eddie Murphy's Golden Child. Both of them are about Chinese legend and magic, and they were slated to come out at the same time, so they rushed production on this. So
Really?
yeah, so that could be in 5 months before Golden Child came out, which Golden Child in the theaters made almost 80 million. You want to guess on Big
This one
Trouble?
lost like 10, 20 million.
It had to have.
Yeah, I don't. They came up with 11 million.
Yeah.
But today, Big Trouble in Little China is a more highly regarded film.
Well, Kurt Russell has been quoted as saying that the reason it did so badly at movie theaters is because the company had no idea on how to market it. And I'm going, no, that movie was just that bad.
Yeah, I mean,
It's like, how do we market this garbage heap?
yeah,
But-
it was, for me, it was like almost so bad it was good sort of thing. Like I was able to laugh at that stupid blob floating around, and
Yeah,
just some of the behaviors, the
Yeah, by the time we see the blob,
unintentional comedy.
yeah, by the time we see the blob, I'm sitting there making fun of it because they talk about drinking the uncle gives them all a drink and like you'll see things you never seen before. I'm like, all right, they're taking meth. That's
Yeah.
and then you see that blob and I'm going, okay, it's a floating booger. And then that big goblin thing, I was like, okay, somebody
Oh,
fed the
yeah.
gremlin after midnight. And it's just
That was a little ridiculous. I mean, that monster suit did not look good.
yeah, it's
no,
like
it's silly.
yeah, it's like okay, so who?
And that's the very end. The monster is on his
The
Yeah.
back of his truck comes up out of the back container of his truck, which those trucks don't have.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, so who let the gremlins in here? It's like this was a parody just waiting to happen. So going back to the guys I caught, the Mortal Kombat guys we was talking about,
Yep.
this movie actually influenced the video game Mortal Kombat.
Really.
Yeah, the guys with the big hats.
Yeah. Shaolin. Or
Yeah, and there was another character like the main boss in Mortal Kombat was
Yeah.
a tip of the hat to this movie, and I'm going, really?
You could tell someone in the stunt department got excited about. We can attach someone to a wire and raise them straight up into the air.
Oh yeah, because
They
if they
did
did,
it like 20 times.
yeah, if they did it once, they did it
They
1,000
floated up in the air,
times.
but
Yeah.
it's like obviously just not realistic at all.
Okay, so Justin, I know that you jump on this stuff very easily. So as soon as I saw it, I was
Yeah.
like, Justin's going to jump this on both feet.
Oh yeah.
When they crawl out from underneath the building and Kurt Russell takes his jacket off, why?
To show off his muscles.
That was okay. That was the only reason.
He's got to be in that tank top.
That was my only logic behind it is like, because Cena said, why'd he take his jacket off? I was like, that was my immediate thought. I was like, well, I show off his muscles. The only reason, I guess, because it's not like his jacket's torn on fire or anything like that. It's just
Yeah.
like,
He
I
he kind of played it off like, oh, it got caught on something, but yeah.
no, because you stopped, took it off, and then kept on.
I have another question.
Okay.
So they went into that building, and you know all their guys that were in their gang, their good gang. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They
yeah,
summoned-
yeah.
The yellow with like the
Yeah,
yellow
you get black with
bandanas.
yellow. Yeah. What happened to all those guys at the end? How is it that Egg, Kurt Russell, you know, the real hero, and the ladies all get out, but none of their gang did?
Yeah.
Well,
They
they, went
just
two
kinda-
they took two different routes. 'cause
Right, but you never see them again. They're gone
yeah,
forever.
Yeah. Well, what I thought was dumb was like they literally took two different routes.
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't they meet back up somewhere else, or
But why would they
You know,
split to begin with?
when they swam out to get away the first time where she gets grabbed by the big hairy thing? You know,
Yeah.
all the guys that went in there to fight with him are gone,
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's one thing.
and I assume they won the fight.
Yeah, because why? Well, I just still can't figure out why they would separate it because they've literally been together
Yeah.
as a group up to this point. Why choose now
Yeah.
to divide and conquer when you don't know what?
Oh yeah, I was sitting there and I was like, man, they didn't even mention those guys.
Yeah.
Those guys went in there and fought with him and fought for him, and then all of a sudden it's just like, oh well, they're gone.
Yeah.
That final fight was pretty ridiculous. Just guys like doing jumps that no one could do.
Yeah,
like,
fighting as they go through
flying,
the air
soaring
together.
through the air,
Well, I
coming-
mean, they did take the secret potion that lets
Yeah,
them do
okay.
amazing
Yeah,
things.
yeah. They took meth before
Oh,
they went in
okay.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a good choice of movie, Justin. Good job, buddy.
It was like,
Um,
it almost. And
Yeah.
we watched. I introduced Sadie to the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers for the first time the other night, and like this is like a bad Mighty Morphin Power Rangers episode, and it's like I watched that, sitting there watching that, and I'm looking at the scene, I'm like, I just ruined my childhood because this show isn't half as good as I remember it.
Yeah.
And then watching this is like, oh, this is worse. It's like the jumps and the stunts are like way worse than the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers I'd ever thought of. It's like, oh man.
I like when she gets grabbed by the hairy monster, like she looks and she's like, "Oh, hairy monster, let me take a step towards you to make it real easy for you to grab me. No scream, no run, no nothing, just
Yeah.
ooh."
Okay, then the big grasshopper thing, they're in a sewer and all of a sudden that grasshopper dragon looking thing just jumps out of the hole, eats somebody, and nobody addresses who that was or anything.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no, and then that's it.
He throws the fireball thing in there, the grenade, and it.
Yeah. Well,
And we
what's
will
that
not
go-
be seeing that again.
Well, that's good because, let's not address the whole issue that it just ate somebody.
Yeah.
It's funny, they'll be in a sticky situation, and a lot of times there'll just conveniently be some tunnel that you can crawl through.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Well, when they swam through that sewer, I mean, there were like 50 guys with guns, and apparently none of them know how to swim because they were able to get away from him just by like swimming into a pipe. And going.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. So
They didn't chase them after that.
yeah.
Like,
Well,
what?
and then they would finally get down into the sewer, and instead of going and falling in the sewer because that water has to go somewhere,
Yeah.
instead of falling all the way out, hey, here's a ladder. Let's just crawl back up through the floor into the same building that we've just been trying to escape the entire movie.
What
Well, I'm
do you
just
know?
going to tell you guys, you're dumping on this pretty hard, and it had 7.2 on the IMDb, and 75% on Rotten
Their
Tomatoes,
software's been jacked.
79% on Just Watch, and 90% of Google users like this movie.
82% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes.
I'm
Yeah.
calling.
Yeah.
I'm calling bunk. They're padding the votes
No.
somehow.
And I'm definitely dumping on it, but I did appreciate it. I was entertained.
Cultural classic, man.
I maybe it's not the best use of my time, but
yeah,
I think
I
what
didn't feel like, oh, I hate this. I was like, this is pretty ridiculous and funny. Most of it.
Yeah, I mean,
You spin the wheel of death, you get what you get.
yeah,
You don't get upset.
yeah. It's like a step above watching paint dry, but it's like.
mean, Many years ago, I remember like Escape from L.A., Kurt Russell. I thought it was pretty cool, but I'm sure if I watch that again, I'll be like, wow, this is pretty cheesy. But as a kid, I thought it was kind of cool. His over the top kind of tough guy like dialogue is pretty ridiculous. I mean, at the very end, she's like, maybe I could hit the road with you, and he's like, nah, just like walks out.
yeah.
That's messed up.
Okay, yeah. Casino was asking me. She's like, "What's their deal?" Like the whole movie, the
Making
two of the,
out.
yeah, the two of them are just. It's just back and forth and back, and it's just like,
Yeah,
come
dude.
on.
Yeah, and he's too cool for that. He's
Yeah.
back on the road.
Yeah.
Like Jack Burton always says.
Yeah.
And do a CB to nobody.
Yeah. Like.
And I like how he's wearing sunglasses at night in the rain and eating a sub
Yeah.
and driving.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
That
now,
was great.
now before we dump on that, the Blues Brothers did do the same thing. They did
I
have wear
agree.
sunglasses at night, but they was cool though. So.
Well,
Yeah.
and yeah, he's driving a tractor trailer in the rain in San
He's
Francisco.
not-
And has a gremlin hauling on the back of it.
The movies you get us
But-
into, Justin.
well, the
I'm not dumping this one on Justin.
when you were reading kind of the synopsis, Judd, you said like his best friend, or
Yeah.
were they friends like before they started gambling on that?
Yeah, they claim to be friends.
Okay, I
Yeah, 'cause
thought
they
he was
knew
just
each other
a
pretty
random
well.
guy that he kind of ran into at the gambling table.
Yeah. So think about this: The Rock was interested in redoing this movie.
Why?
Good question, good question. But the idea is still there. You know, if The Rock redid it, would you be like, all right, it could be done better with The Rock, especially?
I tried to watch a little bit of.
Jumanji?
Yeah, I'm just like, man, I can't do this.
The Rock and Jumanji.
Yeah,
But that's different. And because
It seems like the
Robin
same
Williams
sorta-
did such a good job the first time around,
That's the hard part. Yeah, Robin Williams' Jumanji is fantastic.
yeah, so that one, you're just setting yourself up for failure.
it seems like The Rock is into the kind of
Remakes.
action, comedy, adventure, with the silly gaffes here and there. I think this is right up his alley. Not that he should do it. I'm not. Saying
Yeah,
he
yeah,
should,
yeah.
but-
Yeah, there's a difference between he does it and should he do it.
Oh man.
I don't know. What do you guys think?
We might
Should he
have to
do
put
it?
Jumanji on the list, the Robin Williams one, though.
Because I've only watched bits and pieces of that
As long
over
as
years.
it's
I've
not
never
the-
watched it all the way through.
Not the new one. I thought it was terrible.
Yeah, the new one's terrible.
Well,
Wow.
would you guys be up for a couple rounds of Would You Rather?
You betcha.
Okay, so
It's probably yes to all of them. Anybody else?
Man, right off the bat. It doesn't matter what you say, Joe. Fill them in because it couldn't get any
Joe?
worse.
Bob down the street, yeah, sure.
Well, I don't know that the script and or stunt stuff
Yeah.
should really be the blame on the actors. Because I mean,
Right.
once you kind of get into it, like I thought his best friend,
yeah,
the main hero of the movie, I thought he was a pretty good actor.
Yeah, I thought his fighting looked pretty cool sometimes.
Well, I
too.
just mean, his facial expressions and how he acted in the film seemed
Mm.
genuine. Kurt Russell pulled off the role of a bumbling knucklehead.
very well.
Yeah, so
They almost went a little bit too far with his total inability to like do anything.
yeah, I know. I just mean
Yeah.
like his acting though.
Yeah.
He, like when he's talking on the CB, I was like, dude looks like a truck driver, acts like a truck driver.
Yeah.
Kind of a blowhard, talks a lot, makes up big stories type guy. I felt
Yeah.
that he was that guy.
Yeah.
Now, just because the role in the movie stunk.
Well, like so, well,
All right, would you rather?
with his gun, he
Yeah, you can.
leads you to believe that he's out of ammo, and then like 30 seconds later, it's full again.
Found some
Yeah.
more ammo somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just saying it. Yeah.
All right, so would you rather for Wang Chi? Would you rather
Wait,
see?
who's that?
That's his best friend, or the guy in it.
Okay.
Would you rather seen Dennis Dunn, the actor that played that role,
Uh huh.
or Jackie Chan?
I don't know. I like Jackie Chan in his movies with Chris
Chris Rock,
Rock.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's not Chris Rock.
Is it not?
No.
Who is
Or
it?
not Chris Rock, Chris Tucker.
Yeah.
Chris Tucker. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Rush Hour.
Yeah.
Really like Jackie Chan in Rush Hour.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd hate to see him marred in this, mar his reputation in this ordeal. So I'm gonna say no.
Yeah, let's stick with Dennis.
And I thought Dennis did a good job.
He did. Yeah.
I think he was dealt bad cards,
thought-
but I thought he did a good job.
That lady that played the reporter was kind of lame.
Yeah, gosh, she was. A
I'm
huge
here to get the
disappointment.
story or whatever.
Yeah. So passionate about the truth and blah blah blah. I was like, lady, you just got grabbed by a monster and
Yeah.
drug into this whole ordeal, and that's
Oh, man.
Okay, and for Jack Burton, would you rather see Kurt Russell or Jack Nicholson?
Kurt Russell. He has more of a action hero type deal.
Justin?
Jack Nicholson doesn't look like he
Yeah.
could run around the block without falling over. So I like
Yeah. I agree with that 100%.
Okay, what about Clint Eastwood?
no, same thing. Too old.
Justin?
It's always hard for me. Like, I'd have to. How old was he? He's probably, still too old.
I mean,
even
back in the
80s.
'70s when he did Every Which Way But Loose, where he was a bare knuckle boxer, he was still slightly old.
Yeah, okay.
All right, what about Jeff Bridges?
No way. I like Jeff Bridges. I don't want to see him associated with something like that.
Don't even mention his name, Joe. How dare you?
Associate him with this.
I thought Kurt Russell did a good job.
Okay, so no changes. I think Jeff Bridges could pull it off because he has similar like looks to Kurt Russell. So I think he could probably pull it off.
Yeah, I think so.
Out of those options, he would
I mean,
be the
Kurt
closest.
Russell's a little bit more muscular.
Yeah.
Is there anyone else that could pull it off? Yeah, if you had the option of any.
Oh, if
out
I
there.
had the okay.
In
Now
Hollywood.
that's a good question. Could anybody else? Could we think of anybody
Tom
else?
Cruise?
Well, now this would be like Risky Business era
Mhm.
Tom Cruise.
He'd still be young.
Yeah. I don't think so because he's too much he didn't pull off like the rugged truck driver.
Yeah,
look.
that's the hard part. Yeah, you got to
He's too
kind of
clean
get that.
cut.
Yeah, too clean cut. I agree. Okay. Anybody else you'd want to replace?
Well, who's the guy from?
I thought James Hong and did Lo Pan did a good job.
Yeah.
The Big Bang voice and stuff.
You got somebody else, Justin?
Well, who's the guy from? Was it Roundhouse or?
Oh, Patrick Swayze.
Yeah.
Yeah, Patrick Swayze,
He
maybe.
could probably do that.
Yeah, he's a little more serious, but I'm sure he's got some comedy about him.
Well, I mean, he could probably pull this off because there's not a lot of like ha ha goofball comedy, so he could probably pull this off pretty easily. That's actually a good pick, Justin. That's
Mel Gibson.
ooh. Could
Picture Mad Max thrown into this.
Oh
Road Warrior.
yeah, it's getting thrown in all right with it, but not for the right reasons.
Anyway.
Well, okay, but let's address the question on the floor. Could Mel Gibson pull this role off?
I think so. Maybe.
I don't know. Lethal Weapon and all that. He looks the part. Yeah, he probably could.
Okay, well,
Yeah, I agree.
so since you brought that up, it just popped in my head. What about Bruce Willis?
Maybe. It'd be hard for him to be like.
Bruce Willis
Bumbling.
makes a good policeman. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know that, like with the whole Die Hard series.
Right, that's what I'm saying. The kids,
Because Die Hard is one heck of a Christmas movie.
right?
But but he does. I don't know.
'Cause
He's a
'cause-
little more legitimate in that role. Like he plays a
Right.
lot of policemen. I don't know if you guys knew that, but
Well, he
like 21 Blocks or something like that. It's Bruce Willis does a lot of that.
yeah, because that's what I'm saying. From the action side, I think he could lock that in pretty easily, and he has that look like he could be a convincing truck driver for the
Yeah,
role.
probably.
Justin, what do you think?
Who's that?
Bruce Willis.
Yeah,
Because
he
Bruce
might
Willis,
struggle with the comedic aspects a little bit.
maybe. Because I mean, it's crazy how many cop movies he plays in as a policeman. Like Cop Out, Last Boy Scout, Red. He's a federal agent. Gasoline Alley, The Fortress, Out of Death. He's a sheriff. Jeez, this is crazy.
And it's just an interesting angle they took where everyone is looking to Kurt Russell's character constantly like he's this leader, but then he like when it comes to fighting he never does anything.
They rely on him for everything, but he's
Well, at the very end he gets the main bad guy with the knife through the head.
Yeah, throws it back at him.
All about the reflexes.
Hostage,
I still haven't found anything,
Die Hards.
actually from the director saying, yes, this is meant to be a comedy or anything, Or were they trying really hard to make a cool action movie? I don't know.
Mercury Rising. Fifth Element. He's a soldier. 16 Blocks, that's what it is. Bruce Willis is in a ton of movies.
yes.
I mean, as cheesy as some of the sets looked, you got to give them credit that they did. I mean, you could tell they've spent a lot of money on this movie.
Oh, yeah.
The number of different rooms and
Yeah.
all sorts of crazy stuff that they went into on this
And
underground.
The special
area.
effects and all that.
Yeah, top-notch special effects. Didn't they do like a? He was like hitting them in the stomach with these red balls. Those weren't real balls, right? Weren't those special effects? Did you notice that?
I don't know.
There's that, and the lightning in the guy's hands, the floating booger, the light coming out of the guy's eyes and mouth.
You know what got me was when the lady's eyes snapped open and they're milky white.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's kind of weird. It's like, what the heck?
And her floating in the. When he captures the green-eyed girl, that she's floating. That's a special effect, and then him reaching through her because he's like a ghost.
Yeah.
His hands go right through another one.
Yeah.
One of the things I saw was at the very end he's trying to like take her blood as part of the ritual to get so he can come back into being mortal and not this ghost thing.
Yeah.
And somebody pointed out on IMDb he shouldn't be able to grab her. He was like grabbing her by the wrist,
Yeah.
but he was still a ghost.
Yeah.
Before his hands were going right through her.
Right.
So
Well, that's what the older guy, Egg, was telling him. You got to wait until he gets her blood and then he becomes mortal.
yeah. But he was grabbing her by the
But
wrist.
yeah, he was already grabbing and,
Egg. He was pretty good. At one point, he's like, well, it all goes back to this legend, and Kurt Russell's like, damn it, Egg, just get to the point. It's like trying to ask him a simple question. He's like, going back into this old story. He's like, Egg,
yeah.
this is not the time for a huge history lesson. Wow, I mean, Kurt Russell's just constantly like kind of the cranky guy that like couldn't believe any of this crap was happening. He's just constantly like,
Yeah.
are you kidding me? Is this what?
Well,
Even
he-
after he's seen it multiple times, he's still kind of like skeptical of what's going on.
Well,
Yeah.
he wasn't the only one trying to figure out what was going on.
I'm pretty sure everybody was trying to figure out what was
Yeah.
going on. Except Egg. Egg knew what was going on. He's like, drink this. You're going to need this. The poor guys that followed him in their gang that disappeared. Yeah, I don't know. It seemed like my memory of this movie seemed better than what it was. But, ooh,
You've
What-
seen it through rose-colored
Yeah,
glasses.
I mean, if you're going to tell somebody about it, what would be your most poignant scene?
I-
man.
I struggled with that because the whole time I'm sitting there watching, like, Dave's going to ask about that,
Yeah.
and I can't pick one out.
Was it the silly, unbelievable, goofy scenes, or was it one of the drama scenes, or one of the romance scenes? There you go.
Yeah, I'm
Who
just gonna,
knows?
I'm just going to bundle it all up and say all the goofy scenes together because that just kind of
I do like when the guy tried to cut the bottle in half and he caught the bottle. It's
yeah.
like it's all in the reflexes. Because that really made me think this cat is cool.
Yes. Okay, I'll go with
But
yeah.
then it goes sideways after that.
Yeah, yeah. Literally, when they turned the truck down into that little alleyway,
Yep.
that it just went. The wheels fell off right there,
Yep.
and it never got any better.
Oh boy. Yeah, probably. Yeah, I don't know.
And where did I? You know what's amazing? They kept talking about Lopan, Lopan, the most dangerous place to be in the world, and Lopan, and those clowns walk right in. Yeah, where's the pedal
Yeah.
box got to be? Blah blah blah. It's probably down here last time, and they just let him walk right in. You know?
Yeah.
And then where's all his guys at? I mean, you know, any gangster movie, the gangster has like 50 guys with machine guns sitting there waiting.
Yeah.
Lopan has none of that. He's got, you know, a couple guys that do lightning, and then that's it.
Well, but when you got those little twirly things on your hands,
Yeah.
you don't need anything.
You don't need all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. When you can shoot lightning out of your hands and have these little
Oh my
fidget
gosh.
spinners on your hands, you're made.
So-
That's what blogged my mind is like. Literally had the little spinny
Yeah.
things, and everybody's backing up like. You walk up, you kick him, you hit him.
Yeah, he's
you
an
d-
old man.
Yeah, it's like those little spinny things on the hands are literally doing nothing.
I wonder who sat there and said, you know what we need to do? Check this out.
Yeah.
These little propellers on his hands will look so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And somebody in black,
Bloody brilliant!
Yeah, those three henchmen with the huge, ridiculous hats that work
Oh,
for
gosh.
Lopan. Like,
Rain, lightning, and wind, or whatever.
yeah, you remember the scene where there's this huge, long hallway, and Lopan is like, they're like doing some ancient ritual or something, but it's like a 5-minute scene of that guy like flexing and
Mhm.
making all these noises and like doing.
He's got to do his routine.
I was like, my dad and I watched it, and I was like, okay, that guy like agreed to do the movie, but he made it contingent that I get to do my little like flexing scene for like 5 minutes at some point. I'm like, okay, fine.
And then he blew himself up at the end. What's that all about?
Yeah.
And Dave, last week you mentioned people cannot hit anybody with bullets. Right then they escape. They get into a bus and like
Yeah,
10
gosh.
guys come out with machine guns and cannot kill them,
Well,
shooting directly into a bus that they're in.
well, what got me was when the two gangers sitting there fighting in the alleyway, bullets flying everywhere. They're sitting in the cab of that semi, and not one hit the windshield, went through, entered the cab or anything. Like, really?
Yeah.
Somehow, people are staying in front and behind the semi, bullets flying back and forth, and not one touched the cab of the truck.
Yep. Yep. Welcome to movie magic.
Film was released in the midst of hype for Aliens,
Really?
which was released 16 days after. I may have heard it.
Yeah,
People are
yeah,
saving their money.
that's what
That's
hurt
what
it.
hurt it. Yeah.
Or word got out somehow. That
Yeah, it had nothing to do with people. Somebody watching it was like, hey, you want to see a garbage heap?
Hey, can we watch a movie from a Hulu subscription?
That's where this came from.
Okay. I might have my next pick.
Why did they make a sequel to this?
Oh, Joe, come on now.
they were thinking about it, I think, but
So who took the blow to the head before the meeting and said, hey, I got an idea. Let's do a sequel to this.
Ugh. Bloody
Like-
brilliant.
No, I think they took the fishing pole to the neck on that one because somebody just stood up and was like, no, we're going to stop this before it goes any further.
It's crazy. I don't understand. Well, you guys enjoyed the film immensely, and this was a fan pick, fan choice.
Yes, I didn't feel so bad to dump on it.
Yeah, that makes it a little easier.
Yeah.
It's not as personal. So whoever added this to the list, you're welcome. Gold star for you.
You get a participation ribbon.
Yeah, I was entertained, but I did feel like, let's get this over with. Like, let's. The last 20 or 30 minutes, I was just waiting for it to end. Like, come on. Let's wrap this up.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because like I stopped it and it said like had 15 minutes left. It's like literally what else is left that can't be wrapped up. Now, so Dave, did you finally watch the last part of Stranger Things?
No.
Okay. Well, okay. So have you seen? So you at least seen the part though where Max got taken over.
Yes.
Okay. When the girls opened up and their eyes was like, it's like, oh no, Vecna got them. That's the first thing I was like.
They're on Vecna's list.
Yeah.
Run.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, somebody needs to break out a cassette player stat. These girls are
Yeah.
getting,
Yeah.
they're going to be gone here shortly.
I would definitely recommend this to, like I've talked about before, there's people that like watching bad movies, you know, and get a kick out
I'm
of it.
gonna
But
say,
the funny part is, though, like it says here on Fun Facts, Kurt Russell was led to believe it would be the biggest movie of 1986. He had never before or since been asked by so many members of the press what it was like to be in the biggest movie of the year when he was promoting Big Trouble in Little China. And after the test screenings went really well, Russell said he kept waiting to see ads and things that just didn't happen. I gotta think, you watch this movie, you're not like, yeah, this is by far the biggest movie of the year.
yeah,
What makes you think this movie would be the biggest
I
one
think
of the
they
year?
were all taking the same meth that the uncle was handing out before the fight scene.
Yeah.
But who in their right mind, again, like you said, Dave, who in their right mind would go, hey, this is going to be a blockbuster?
So I'm looking up popular movies in 1986. Top Gun, Pretty in Pink, Crossroads, Labyrinth, Stand By Me, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Cobra with Stallone, Heartbreak Ridge, Stagecoach, Platoon, Hoosiers, Iron Eagle, Gung Ho, Short Circuit, Three Amigos, Crocodile Dundee, Color of Money, The Money Pit, Rad. I mean, you got all these movies in 1986, and that's what you think the top one's going to be?
I was going to say, and yet you have, and Little China
Highlander?
has yet to make that list.
Yeah. Maximum Overdrive. The Hitcher. Flight of the Navigator. The Golden Child. Karate Kid 3 came out. Howard the Duck.
See?
Well, I mean, it's on the list. I just didn't read it, obviously. But Aliens, The Fly, Running Scared, Billy Crystal. I mean, you got all these movies. One Crazy Summer, Demi Moore and John Cusack, Little Shop of Horrors. I mean, you got all these movies coming out. And that's what you think the best one's going to be?
Yeah.
I mean, I looked at Top Gun and said, there's no way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, I guess, hard to tell at the moment. Sometimes people think something's going to
Aliens? I mean, come on.
And sometimes something that no one expects comes out of nowhere and ends up being huge. I don't know.
Maximum Overdrive. I mean, that was a pretty big deal back then. Highlander's always been a big deal.
Would you agree with this review, Joe? A wholly enjoyable mix of action, comedy, romance, and horror.
No.
Here's another one. I really hated this.
Yes. Okay, so while I was watching that, the two words came across my mind: is fever dream. Like somebody couldn't be like normal and go, "Hey, I got an idea. What if we had Kurt Russell getting chased by the gremlins, and somebody gets eaten by a giant grasshopper and has to fight a big booger?"
Yeah.
Did you rate Raiders of the Lost Ark highly, Joe?
Yes. Well, I can tell you.
Because I
Look
see
back on our website.
comparisons sometimes where people are like, "This is a bad version of Indiana Jones," or that there's some sort of the same sort of elements of action adventure and a little bit of some laughs here and there, sort of thing.
Yeah, but I think there was enough. The story itself made enough sense and there wasn't just like over the top stupidity in that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. some person says it's a goofy mix of comic books, kung fu, and Indiana Jones in a movie that leaves you scratching your head.
I think the Indiana Jones reference is a little far fetched.
Disrespectful.
That's kind of a stretch on that one.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Here we go. I'm looking up Indiana Jones. See where it fell on our rating system.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been on the ball. I've finally got our website updated. Okay, so Indiana Jones. Justin, you gave it a medium.
Mhm.
I gave it a large, and
Yep.
Dave gave it a mop bucket.
Yep.
So
Dun dun dun.
not anywhere near. And I'm just pure speculating because we have not discussed beforehand what we was going to rate this, but
Yeah.
I'm going to take a wild shot in the dark and say, Little Big Trouble in Little China is not going to fall anywhere near that popcorn scale.
Right. Well, you want to rate
I
it up?
kind of liked it. Come on now. It's all in reflexes, baby.
Was you like? Did you take like cold medication before you started?
All right. Anyway, I'll rate it up. I'm not afraid.
Well, I'm not afraid to rate it up either.
I'm giving this a solid overflowing small.
Really going that high?
Yeah. I mean,
Overflowing.
I watched it. I didn't fall asleep. It was kind of entertaining. It was silly and stupid, but you know. I mean, it wasn't like a Howard the Duck.
Yeah, it was way worse.
It was not. You didn't have, Jennifer Jason Leigh or whoever, whatever that girl's name was.
Oh, Leah Thompson,
Leah Thompson or
the guy from
Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah.
Tim Robbins.
Yep.
Throwing out just pitifully dumb lines. I mean, come on.
No, but you had a booger.
You did have a booger, but still, it wasn't that kind of crazy stuff. So,
And Mortal Kombat hats down to your chin.
I would have liked this one to be about 10-15 minutes shorter because I was really starting to want it to end by the end of it. I appreciate the effort they put into it. I'm not sure why they chose to make some of the choices they did, but they spent millions of dollars and it shows because there's all sorts of stuff being destroyed and blown up and people flying through the air and I mean lots of extras and I mean Kurt Russell's one-liners are pretty terrible most of the time. Most of the acting's pretty terrible, but whether they intended it or not, I was laughing multiple times and having a decent time watching this. So I'm gonna go large.
a large.
Are you serious? No way.
Wow.
No
a
way.
large.
No,
With the
no.
flying booger, you get a large out of this?
Yeah.
All right.
No
I'm
way.
going medium.
Are you guys serious?
Yeah.
Like,
Medium.
I
I was on the cusp, but he talked me into it.
I'm pinching myself. This has got to be a dream. There's no possible way we dumped on this movie this long and you guys are rating it
'Cause
this
there's
high.
two-
I'm
for
going.
me-
I agree with him. I watched it all the way through with no
Are you
problems.
guys
For me,
serious?
there's a movie that's bad and you hate every second of it, and there's a movie that's bad and there's some pretty entertaining stuff, and it keeps
Like,
keeps you entertained by how
there's got to be a gas leak in this studio or something. This isn't right. The two guys that we've done this show for how long now? The two guys that I know wouldn't rate this movie this high. There's no possible
I said
way.
medium. It's middle of the road. It's
I don't
not
care.
horrible. I watched it. I mean, I struggled to get through Howard the Duck so
him
bad.
rolling down the huge ramp in a wheelchair screaming. I mean, it was pretty funny. He's like
I don't know about that.
barreling over people and they're flying out of the
I'll be
way.
honest with
Yes.
you. Yeah. I mean, when I saw him going down the wheelchair backwards, I was like, grab one wheel, spin around, and then hit the brakes.
Yeah.
Because it's just an interesting situation.
Yeah.
And I have no idea why there's a well at the end of a ramp.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah.
Medium for me. Medium, I'm in.
And Justin's going like,
Yeah.
Joseph, where you falling here, buddy? Have we convinced you?
yeah, that there's like something seriously wrong with both of you guys, or
Joe, come on now.
because like
Joe.
Dave,
Come
Dave,
on,
you've
come
always
on.
been kind of wild on your aims, and Justin and I found that we most of the time
Yeah.
have been pretty close.
Yeah, I think we're different universes here. on this
yeah, like I'm scared,
Joe.
Justin. You need to go get medically checked out. There's something going on, buddy.
Yeah.
Joe. Come on now, Joe.
Because
Is
Justin,
it a good movie?
Joseph.
No, absolutely not. But I enjoyed it.
So, Justin, you said it was a little too long. I'm going it's like an hour and a half too
Yeah.
long.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you're saying it's 15 minutes. I'm saying it's an hour and a half too long.
It's certainly not slow. It's just a little.
No.
long. It's constant action, pretty much. But, yeah, if they could just trim out something somewhere.
Yeah, like at the beginning of the film, just cut that whole reel.
Cut the whole thing.
Yeah. So you guys, I don't know, and I hope I'm not right. I hope my taste in movies has matured because of us doing this. I hope that's not it. Because
Joe.
the goofiness and all the explosions, and Dave knows that I'll rate a movie very highly because of explosions. Even explosions, this film
That's
can't
what I'm
save
saying,
it.
Joe. How do you not like this? This
Yeah.
has bullets and explosions and crazy
Yeah.
stuff all over the place.
Yeah, even that can't save it.
Had lightning.
Yeah, even that can't save it.
Hey, do you have Disney Plus?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm giving it. I'm being the logical one in this group, and I'm giving this thing a burnt.
I know it. I know it.
A burnt?
A burnt.
It can't be a burnt.
Yes, it can.
It cannot.
Did we watch the same movie?
Yeah, it was a small at the worst case scenario.
Okay, so you've got a gremlin that they got wet, and
Yeah.
you have a giant
There's-
grasshopper just randomly eat somebody,
Yeah, but
and a
it's-
floating booger.
Hold on. You're talking about a duck from outer space that wanders around and nobody really cares or notices. That's
Yeah.
a burnt.
No,
A flying burger fits right in with Ghostbusters. Would you give Ghostbusters a burnt?
no, because it's
Right,
got
the
Bill
same-
Murray and it has a story
Oh,
that makes
jeez.
sense.
What? Flying ghosts do not make sense.
Well, they make it more convincing than this garbage heap.
It's Joe's turn to be
A burnt.
the upset one that we'll be buying you Big Trouble in Little China merchandise. They do a board game. I
Gonna
think.
go along with my Howard
We'll
Duck.
get you
They made a board game out of this.
Yeah.
What do? Just set the game on fire at the end?
They have a board game?
Yeah, and a card game too.
Oh boy.
Yeah, you just take the cards, open the pack, and just dump them in the trash can.
Some pop vinyl figures too. And a video game.
Are you serious?
Gosh.
Guys, I am shocked.
Joe, how could you?
I'm at a loss for words.
You are not. You're gonna change your deal. You're coming around.
Yeah, with a blunt a blow to the head with a blunt object, maybe. I am shocked.
Yeah. So you watched it with Cena,
Yes.
and at no point was she amused by how bad it was.
Yeah, she was sitting there with me. We was just sitting there making fun of it as
Yeah.
well, and she was with me. This is why I can't understand you guys, because she was right there with me. Because I asked her, I said, "Where's this fall on the popcorn scale?" She said, "Burn." I said, "Good."
Yeah.
I said, because
I mean-
I was teetering between small and burnt, and it's
Yeah.
like,
Aw.
no.
You might be right technically, but I don't know.
So Justin, what did your dad think? Please tell me he's like, agreeing with me on this one.
Yeah.
What was his thoughts?
Let's see. If it's an intentional parody, it gets a large, but I can't shake the feeling that it's just a very bad movie that has become a parody.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank
it
you.
is a
Thank
cult
you.
classic.
Yeah.
But I think it's for all the wrong reasons.
I really couldn't tell if they were trying to be serious sometimes. Or
I think
what.
they was. I don't think this was meant to be a parody. I think that's the problem with people.
Yeah.
It's like The Room. People thought it was a comedy and it wasn't
No
supposed to be.
way.
Yes. I will fall on that sword. I will die on that hill.
But they were doing little gags here and there. They were trying to be
Yeah, I mean-
funny at times.
Yeah, but I don't think it was supposed to be
I
a
don't know if that
parody.
monster was supposed to be funny though. I think it was. I don't know what they were doing with that. That was crazy.
Anyway,
All right, there you go, folks.
Justin, you got your pick ready?
Yep.
A burnt. Joe.
A large, really? A medium?
I'd say
A
medium.
small, an overflowing small upgraded to a medium? Really?
Oh boy.
It's pretty good. You'll come around, Joe. All right.
You'll think about it next week and you'll be like, "You guys, you're right. It wasn't that bad."
You'll change your score next week.
Yeah, and that. So I will have to go to the hospital because that means I took a blow to the head that done permanent damage.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Justin, you got your pick?
Yep.
Really? Okay.
Yep. Next week.
Well, hold on. Here's my question: were you influenced by Big Trouble in Little China at all?
Please tell me no.
No,
Good.
okay.
There's still a little hope yet.
Okay.
All right.
So, Justin, what's your pick, sir?
Pig.
What?
Pig.
Is that a movie?
Nicolas Cage. 2021 film.
What?
Been wanting to see this one for a while, so I'm looking forward to
I've
this
never
one.
even heard of it.
Me either. So, what's it on?
Hulu.
Okay.
You gotta be kidding me. A truffle hunter who lives alone in Oregon must return to his past in Portland when search of his beloved foraging pig is kidnapped.
Yep.
Wow.
So we go from a booger to a pig.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
Guys,
boy.
I'm starting to rethink of this whole idea of, hey, let's watch movies every week and talk about them. I'm really starting to rethink these decisions.
It's critically acclaimed.
Stealing Nick Cage's pig is far more dangerous than killing John Wick's dog.
Yeah, I don't think we've had a Nicolas Cage, have we?
I don't think so.
Probably a reason for that.
I don't know. I kind of like Nicolas Cage.
He's been in a lot of movies, but man, is he different.
Yeah, this will be a test because he kind of became like a B movie guy for
Oh, yeah.
a while there.
Gone in 60 Seconds. I did like Con Air, but it was
This
even a
is
little over the
Maybe
top.
his first.
And I liked.
This could be his first decent movie in 20 years.
Really?
Ghost Rider. I mean, come on.
No, yeah, Ghost Rider was terrible.
Yeah.
Must be. What was a
Yeah.
good movie he was in?
National Treasure.
It's a little out there. I mean, it's fun to
Lord-
watch, I guess.
Lord
but-
of War or something. He's like a
yeah.
Weapons.
Yeah, that's not bad. Lord of War.
weapons dealer or
Let me look.
smuggler.
Interesting.
He was in Face Off. Him and
John Travolta.
yeah,
Was it any good? I've never watched it.
probably not now. At the time, it seemed kind of cool, but probably doesn't hold up.
No.
He was in Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Really?
Yeah.
As
I-
what?
I don't know. It just shows
No
up here.
way.
Raising Arizona.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
one.
Raising
people-
Arizona about sums up his career, in my opinion.
Yeah.
World Trade Center. He was in World Trade Center. That was a tough one to watch.
Yeah.
Have you guys watched it?
No. What are we watching? Pig?
Pig.
Jeez Louise. Anyway. Justin.
He was Brad's bud on Fast Times at Ridgemont High. I've never watched it, so that's what he's credited.
Brad's Bud. I have watched it. Yeah, that's not a bad one. That might be my pick. Can we watch it?
No, you had to rent it.
Really?
Yep.
How come I never get any good movies, man?
No, you get good ones. They just don't. They make you pay for them.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Why can't I get them for free?
Because they know they're good.
This may have no bearing whatsoever on your guys' experience, but 97% critics, 84% audience on Pig, Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, right. In this day and age, any movie gets something good.
This is going to be
Bud.
interesting.
Yep.
I like Nicolas Cage and Justin. After giving this garbage heap a large, you have
Yeah.
a lot to
Yeah.
redeem yourself on, sir.
Yeah.
Because I used to hold you in high regard in
Yeah.
movie reviews, and you just
Yeah.
shot all credibility.
Oh boy. Justin going with a new movie.
Hour and 32 minutes, so I'm not doing a 2-hour one on you guys.
Yeah.
Tight 90 minutes. We'll be out of here. You want to take her home, Joe? We got anything else to pontificate on? Or
I don't know,
we've
are you
covered
guys
the booger. We've covered.
the grasshopper? Are you guys good?
Yeah, I was trying to figure out. I got trapped into going back to see and where Nicolas Cage fell in Fast Times at Ridgemont High, but I don't see him.
Well, that's what Google said was he played
Brad's Bud.
Brad's bud.
So I pulled up the clip. Wow.
There's one called Matchstick Men he was in a long time ago.
Ooh, yeah.
I thought it was pretty
That one
decent.
wasn't bad.
And I haven't seen it.
Yeah, then
Still looking.
it
I
seemed
don't
like
see Nicolas
he went
Cage.
into this phase where he was just like in these B movie action movies for like years. I'd go
Yeah.
to Redbox and every time it'd be like another Nicolas Cage movie where he's just like shooting something on the cover.
Hey, speaking of Jumanji, it's available on Hulu, the original,
Oh, there you go.
and Napoleon Dynamite. I see. I'd much rather watch Napoleon Dynamite than I would.
Big Trouble.
Yes. Weekend at Bernie's.
So, Joe, would you say that's the worst movie you've seen so far on the podcast?
No, not the worst.
Oh, Howard the Duck takes the cake. No,
No.
problems.
One of the dumbest, yes,
Hands
but not the
down.
worst.
What? You got a top 3 hate list of what we've covered?
Mad
Mad
Max,
Max,
the Mad
yeah.
Max movies.
Yeah.
I and again, I still can't figure those out because it's got Mel
I thought-
Gibson in it.
I struggled with Clue a little bit. I thought that was
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
good.
Yes. I can
Just-
see. I'm trying to repress that memory. So thank you, Justin.
All right. So hold on, I found it. Nicolas Cage is a cook, like a grill cook, in
Okay.
the Fast Times at Ridgemont High meeting.
Okay.
Movie.
The General pretty bad also.
I like
That
the
one-
General.
Yeah, that one wasn't bad.
I understood why it was like it was.
Right.
Anyway, so
But yeah.
Pig.
Clue have to be
Pig.
definitely on that list.
Yeah.
So Pig for next week.
Okay.
We've covered a lot.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
far.
You know.
Episode 62 next week.
Wow.
You guys watch Pig. You can rent it for $2 or you can.
I gotta get some
Watch on
movies,
Hulu.
man. All these making me pay for my picks stinks.
I know.
We need like a golden pass, so I can pull out some good movies here.
Yep.
Yeah,
I keep having to go to my B list, which I don't like.
Yeah. That's why Dave's ratings are so low. He's picking from his B list.
That's
Yeah.
true. I mean, come on, Joe. You would love Stroke Race. It's right up your
Oh, I
alley.
know. Well, I'm gonna tell you like Dad used to tell
Well,
me.
here,
growing up,
let me give you a
poor
challenge.
excuse is better than no excuse.
This is true. I agree with that. But let me challenge you, Joe.
Okay.
I want Stroke Race next week for my pick. I've been trying to pick it for the last 27 weeks. So you see what you can track down, please, and find some way to get us Stroke Race without having to pay for it.
Well, I had to buy a rent. Have to rent it. Pay a rental fee.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to though.
I know, but
Can we get it on DVD for like $2 or something?
I don't know.
Work some magic, Joe.
I'll work some magic. See what I can
you
do.
see. 'Cause
I'll see what I
that's,
can
that's
do.
a pick I really want you to watch.
I'll see what I can do.
Okay. All right. So next week, everybody join us for Pig, and then Joe, if anybody hasn't figured out how to watch all this stuff, how they keep them up to speed on all the social
Okay,
media.
so if you want to reach out to us and tell the guys that they're wrong and I'm absolutely correct on this film,
Oh, jeez. That's the disclaimer you're going with today?
yes.
If you want to open up Joe's eyes to real movie quality, please send a message.
Yeah. Visit our website, beentherewatchthat.com. You can leave your comments on there, or if that doesn't fit your fancy, you can follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter at BTWT Pod for all that. And be sure to subscribe to the podcast, Been There, Watch That. We're on all the major platforms, and all of our episodes are hosted by Anchor.fm.
That's
All right.
right.
So, Justin.
We have been there. Watch that.
Okay, for myself, Joe, and Justin, we'll be back next week for Pig. Make sure you join us. Have a great week.